Welcome to 2024 Hazmat Study Quiz Guided Q&A, Part 1 of 3 series. First question. To stop for railroad tracks, you should stop blank feet before the nearest track. The answer is 15 to 50 feet. Question number 2. A hazard class name or ID number may not be used to describe The answer is a non-hazardous waste. Question number 3. You are going to be hauling hazardous materials over a route you are not familiar with. When should you check the route and get the permits needed for the trip? The answer is before starting the trip. Question number 4. You are driving a truck carrying a hazardous shipment. The shipping papers must be in a pouch on the driver's door or in. The answer is clear view within reach. Question number 5. Which of the following 3 hazard classes should not be placed into a temperature-controlled trailer? 1. With a heater/air conditioner unit. The answer is classes 1, 2.1, and 3. Question number 6. How often should you check the tires on a placarded trailer that has dual tires? The answer is start of each day and every time you stop. Question number 7. Carriers must give each driver who transports Class A or B explosives The answer is a copy of FMCSR Part 397. Question 8. When fueling a placarded vehicle, someone must always be. The answer is at the nozzle controlling the fuel flow. Question 9. What are shippers trying to accomplish when they package the material? The answer is make it easy to identify. Question 10. Which signals may be used to warn of a stopped vehicle that contains explosives? The answer is reflective triangles. Question 11. If you are in an accident involving hazardous materials, you should. The answer is keep all people far away and upwind of the accident. Question 12. A shipping paper for hazardous materials must include. The answer is both of the above. A proper shipping description for each hazardous material and a shipper's certification stating that they prepared the shipment according to the regulations, and it should include page numbers if the shipment has more than one page. Question 13. Whenever a vehicle is placarded, do not drive near open fires unless you. The answer is can safely pass the fire without stopping. Question 14. When transporting chlorine in cargo tanks, what must you have? The answer is both of the above: an emergency kit controlling leaks and fittings on the dome cover, and an approved gas mask. Question 15. When hauling hazardous materials, you must check any dual tires. The answer is at the start of each trip and each time you stop. Question 16. What is the purpose of a driver placarding his or her vehicle? The answer is communicating risk. Question 17. To find out if a shipment includes hazardous materials, you should The answer is look at the shipping papers. Question 18. The transport index of a radioactive material is The answer is indicates the degree of control needed during transportation. Question 19. You have loaded a hazardous material into a cargo tank. What must you do before you move the vehicle? The answer is close all manholes and valves. Be sure they are free of leaks. Question 20. You should stop before crossing a railroad grade if your vehicle is carrying blank of chlorine. The answer is any amount. Question 21. The total transport index of all radioactive material packages in a single vehicle must not exceed how many? The answer is 50. Question 22. If there is an RQ before or after the item description on the shipping paper, it means that the answer is the carrier must report any spill of this material. Question 23. Which hazard classes must you never smoke or perform any activity involving fire within 25 feet? The answer is classes 1.2, 3, and 4. Question 24. You find an overheated tire during an en route inspection. If you are hauling hazardous materials, you must The answer is remove the tire and place it a safe distance from the vehicle. Last question, 25. Which of the following is not something you need to know in order to determine if you need to use placards? The answer is the manufacturing date for the materials. Congratulations. Good luck, truckers and future truckers. You've made it to the end of part 1 of the 3-part series of the 2024 Hazmat Study Quiz. See you in the next one. 2024 Hazmat Study Quiz Guided Q&A, part 2 of 3 series. First question. If you are carrying Division 1.2 or 1.3 materials, how far away must you park from the traveled portion of the road? The answer is at least 5 feet. Question 2. A vehicle contains 500 pounds each of explosives A and B. You must have. The answer is explosive A placards. Question 3. You have a vehicle without racks to hold cylinders or compressed gas. You may load such cylinders only if they are. The answer is loaded upright or lying down flat and braced. Question 4. Animals and humans' foodstuff should not be loaded in the same vehicle with poisons. Question 5. Do you need to stop before a railroad crossing if you are hauling 100 pounds of Division 4.3 materials? The answer is yes. Question 6. If the word forbidden appears in the hazard class column of an entry in the hazardous materials table, the answer is a common carrier must never transport the material. Question 7. A properly prepared Uniform Hazardous Waste Manifest does what? The answer is must be signed and carried by anyone transporting hazardous waste. Question 8. The regulations require that hazardous materials employees be trained and tested at least once every blank years. The answer is 3 years. Question 9. A placarded vehicle must carry what type of fire extinguisher? The answer is one with a rating of 10 BC minimum. Question 10. Cargo tanks are the answer is bulk packaging permanently attached to your vehicle. Question 11. No one may smoke within 25 feet of any vehicle that contains explosives, oxidizers, or the answer is flammable materials. Question 12. You may not park a vehicle carrying hazardous materials within blank feet of an open fire. The answer is 300 feet of an open fire. Question 13. If an X or an RQ is in the HM column of a shipping paper entry, then the answer is the shipment is regulated by hazardous regulations. Question 14. Which of the following materials would be an acceptable floor liner for moving Division 1.1 or 1.2 materials? The answer is non-ferrous metal. Question 15. Which of the following is not an acceptable type of marking for hazardous materials? The answer is name in italics. Question 16. If hazardous materials is spilling from your vehicle, do not move your vehicle. The answer is any more than safety requires. Question 17. Class A explosives must not be transported in a combination vehicle if the vehicle includes the answer is a placarded cargo tank. Question 18. The intent of hazardous materials regulation is to ensure safety, to contain the material, and the answer is to communicate the risk. Question 19. You are hauling hazardous materials and you find that one of your tires is leaking. You must The answer is stop at the nearest safe place and fix it. Question 20. A vehicle placarded for hazardous materials must have placards on how many sides? The answer is 4. Question 21. Which of the following is a necessary qualification for non-bulk packaging? The answer is all of the above. A maximum net mass of 400 kilograms, which is 882 pounds, or less than 450 liters, which is 119 gallons, if used as a receptacle for a solid. A maximum capacity of 450 liters, 119 gallons, or less if it is used as a receptacle for liquids. And lastly, a maximum water capacity of 450 kilograms, which is 1,000 pounds, or less if used as a receptacle for gases. Question 22. What is the main difference between a portable tank and a cargo tank? The answer is all of the above. Cargo tanks are filled while on the vehicle. Portable tanks are filled while off the vehicle. Portable tanks must additionally show the owner or lessee's name on them. Lastly, cargo tanks are permanently attached. Portable tanks are temporarily attached. Question 23. A safe haven is the answer is a place that has been approved to park unattended vehicles carrying explosives. Question 24. What is a technical name? The answer is the name for a hazardous material used in scientific journals and texts, recognized as its chemical and microbiological name. Last question, 25. Who is responsible for finding out what permits or special routes are needed to haul hazardous materials? The answer is the driver. That's all for today. Good luck, truckers and future truckers. Have a good exam. See you in the next one, part 3.
Hey, what's up? It's Easy Money Ash, and welcome to the 2024 Hazmat Study Quiz Guided Q&A, part 3 of 3 of the series. Let's get into the first question. There are 3 lists that the drivers, shippers, and carriers use to find out if a material is a regulated product. One of these lists is the list of hazardous substances and reportable quantities. Question number 2. Where are the 2 main places where the hazardous materials identification number appears? On the shipping papers and on the package. Question number 3. Who is responsible for packaging, labeling, and preparing the hazardous material shipping papers for a common carrier? The shipper. Question 4. A truck carrying explosives have collided with one another. You should not pull them apart until the explosives have been placed at least 200 feet away from the vehicles and occupied buildings. Next question. The two other places where the hazardous materials identification number must appear on any bulk packaging and the cargo tanks. Next question. The power unit of a placarded vehicle must have a fire extinguisher with a UL rating of blank BC or more. Ten. Next question. In what location must you keep your shipping papers which describe any hazardous material? On the driver's seat anytime you are outside of the vehicle. Next question. The Emergency Response Guidebook, ERG, is all of the above. All of the above includes the ERG book was created by the National Department of Transportation, so it is used nationwide, and the ERG contains an index of hazardous material ID numbers, which is why you must label things correctly. Next question. An X in the HM column of a shipping paper entry means that the entry is for a hazardous material. Next question. When handling packages of explosives, you must never use hooks or other metal tools. Next question. Who is responsible for checking to be sure the shipper correctly named, labeled, and marked a hazardous material shipment? The carrier. Next question. Which of the following must drivers have in their possession while transporting Class A or B explosives? The written route plan. Next question. When there is a hazardous materials emergency, what should you do? Do both of the above. Both of the above include keep people away and warn them of danger, and prevent smoking and keep open flames away. Next question. You are transporting hazardous materials. When you are not behind the wheel, the shipping papers must be on the driver's seat or in the pouch of the driver's door. Next question. Identification numbers are preceded by the letters UN or NA. The letters NA are associated with proper shipping names that are used where? Within the United States and to and from Canada. Next question. What action should you take if there is no phone available and you discover your hazardous materials shipment leaking at a rest stop? Send someone for help with all the necessary information. Next question. Who is responsible for safely transporting a hazardous material shipment without delay and keeping the shipping papers in the right place? The driver. Next question. If you are already carrying 100 pounds of silver cyanide, what precautions must you take if you are given papers at a dock to carry 100 cartons of battery acid? Inform someone and not load the battery acid. Next question. You are hauling hazardous materials and a railroad crossing is ahead of you. When you stop for the crossing, you can stop within blank feet of the nearest rail. $50. Next question. Your engine runs a pump when you are delivering compressed gas. Should you turn off your engine before or after you unhook the hoses after finishing that delivery? Turn it off before unhooking. Next question. Which of the following hazard classes utilizes a transport index in order to determine how much of it can be loaded on a single vehicle for transport? Class 7 radioactive materials. Next question. You do not have a hazardous materials endorsement on your commercial driver's license. When can you legally haul hazardous materials? Only when it is a non-placarded material. When shippers package hazardous materials, they must certify that this was done according to regulations. The only exception is when the shipper is a private carrier carrying its own product. Last question. With most hazardous materials, you may briefly park within 5 feet of the road if your work requires it. The materials that are the exception and do not allow parking this close to the road are explosives A and explosives B. Congratulations. Good luck, truckers and future truckers, on getting your hazmat endorsement. You put in the work, now it's time to execute. Let's go.